welcome back to my channel featuring new mini microphones. I noticed in my editing on my last video that there was some background noise that I just couldn't get around. I live in an apartment complex, I have a child, so noises in the background are, very common. So I just thought this might help with some of that. So let me know what you think. Hopefully the audio sounds good on this little microphone. For today's video, I wanted to talk to you about what I've finished making for my knitting projects, as well as what I'm working on and what I would like to work on in the coming seasons. So to start off the video, I'll share with you what I finished. For my first finished object, I am wearing it. This is the Season Sweater by Ozetta. I knit this last November for a campaign that Hobby Yarn was doing, so all of the yarns used for this sweater were from Hobby. I first used a Highland wool in a dark green color, I believe the color is 21, and then I held it together with Friends Kids Silk in the color 113, which was a nice minty green color. I wanted it to be a muted green, so I used two contrasting greens. It really helped to highlight the half fisherman's rib in the pattern design, but I really love it. It's super cozy, super warm, so it is perfect right now because it is quite chilly. My next finished item is another ozetta pattern. It is the Traveler's Cardigan. I did show this in my last video, so if you watched that, you've probably already seen the finished item, but I've worn this quite a bit since finishing it a couple weeks ago. It is just the perfect little cardigan to throw over any outfit. It really goes with anything. That was the intention, making it an off-white color. I really just wanted to get a lot of wear out of it, especially in the office, because it's nice to be able to throw on a cardigan when I'm feeling a little chilly and then just take it off. So my next finished item, I actually don't have it with me. This was a gift for my friend, and I am calling it the Meadow sweater. It was knit for my friend's baby, and this was a pattern that I actually wrote, my first pattern that I actually wrote. I don't really know what yarn I used. It was just a yarn I had in stash. It's just a cute, simple baby sweater, and it has this cute little floral detailing on it. If you're interested in a tutorial or would like a written pattern, let me know down below and I can see about making that happen. My next finished item is another baby item. I have a lot of babies coming into this world in my life, so I am making them things. I love baby patterns. They work up so fast and they're just so cute. Oh my gosh. I've been getting baby fever just making all of these things. But so this next one is called the Simple Ribbed Pixie Bonnet by I have to read off my notes because I can't remember everything. This is Simple Ribbed Pixie Bonnet by Sweet KM. I found this pattern on Etsy and I'm just using an acrylic yarn. It is called Cottage Rose. It's by Yarn Bee and Easygoing. And this is actually part of a gift. My brother's girlfriend is actually crocheting a blanket in the same yarn, so we're going to give it to them together as a little baby gift. And that wraps up my finished items. Let's move on to what I'm currently working on. When I first started to learn how to knit, I thought that I would be a one project gal, a monogamist knitter, if you will. I really do enjoy starting multiple projects because there's always that point in a project you get to where you're just tired of it. You're just done with it. You want to be done with it. You want to set it aside. And it is so nice to have other projects that you can just pick up and go and start on and not have to cast on a whole new project. And I also love that magical moment when you have like 4 projects and you like finish them one after one and you just get the biggest high of like finishing an item, and you just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so quick. I just finished all these items, even though realistically you've been switching on and off to different projects. Anyways, that's my take on having multiple projects at once. For my first project, this is one that I am trying to finish up maybe today, possibly by tomorrow. And it is the Brownie Scarf by Moc An. I found this pattern on Etsy as well. The yarn that I'm using is Delicate DK, It's an acrylic blend and the color is silver gray. I really like this pattern. I've found that I am not a scarf person. All the scarves that I have are really bulky. I was a high schooler in the time of like the millennial chunky knit infinity scarf. So I have a lot of those and I want to wear them, but one, just it's that trend has passed. We're not there anymore. And I really like the fact that these little petite scarves are thin, and so you don't really feel like it's super bulky or it's just too much. And it also just gives this cute little elegant, flair. I don't know. I really like it. I'm excited to wear mine. For this next item, it is another baby item. This is for a coworker of mine. I'm making their baby a sun hat, and they had requested that the sun hat be made in black. So I am using a cotton yarn in the brand I Love This Cotton. The color is black, and then for the edge color, I'm using Crafter's Secret cotton yarn in the color City. I haven't made too much progress on this only because I started the project using DPNs, but cotton is really slippery and my DPNs were metal. I was getting really frustrated because I felt like the stitches just kept falling off of the other end. And then I tried to use needle stoppers, and that was just too much. So I set this down for a bit because I wanted to purchase some needles that were in the round and I just didn't have them in my stash. So now that I do have my needles that I needed, I feel like I'll pick this up and it'll go pretty quickly. I'm making this in the size 3 to 6 months as well. And these sizes are based off of when their babies are expected, so that if it's a warmer item, it'll be around the age that they'll be when it's warm, or if it's a cooler item, they can wear it during the cooler months. So my next project is a project I talked about in my last knit and chat video, which was last year in June. I am still working on it. I am making progress day by day. It is a cable sweater. It's the Oatmeal sweater by Veronica Lindberg. I am making this in Big Twist heathered yarn, which is an acrylic yarn. I slightly regret using acrylic and not just getting a nicer yarn for the cables. Either way, I'm way too far into the project to turn back now, so I'm just gonna keep trucking along with it. I'm making the pattern size medium, and this has been really fun. I think it was quite an ambitious cable pattern to take on for my first time, but at this point in time, I've memorized the charts, so it really is just going by pretty quickly now. But at first, it was quite the struggle. I was constantly having to go back to the charts, figure out where I left off, and pick up from there. But now it's quite easy. And I never understood that when people did talk about their cable patterns, where they would say, like, oh, yeah, after a while, you just kind of memorize it. With this one, I was like, there's no way. There's so many different cables and different patterns, or different like stitches on this one. But yeah, no, I mean, once you get in a groove, it's pretty simple. So I recommend this pattern. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. My next work in progress shouldn't be a work in progress. I just seriously have second sock syndrome. I have made the vanilla socks by Crazy Sock Lady before. I'm sure you all know about that. She is like the queen of socks. Like, everyone makes those because they're just the most basic sock pattern. The yarn that I'm using for my vanilla socks are Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK, and this is in the color Oxblood. I want to try to make a pair of socks every year. I like the way that they feel. I like the fact that I made them. I don't know, they're just, I feel like there's just an extra coziness about them. Really, I just need to finish it. It's just the toe part of the second sock. Like, I'm right there. I just need motivation. So I'm hoping by adding this into my works in progress here, I will have the encouragement to just finish it already before it's summer and then I don't need to wear socks. So for my last work in progress, this project does not have a timeline. This is more of a stash buster project. I'm making a knitted blanket square blanket. I just realized I have so many scrap balls of yarn that I don't necessarily have enough to make a project with, but I thought, what's the best way to do that than to make a little scrappy blanket? My main color is this gray yarn that I want to be like the common color throughout the blanket to kind of tie everything together. And then the other yarns are just random scrap yarn that I have in my stash. I've really enjoyed making these squares when I'm watching a movie with my husband, or if I'm, watching a limited series, but I need to actually pay attention to the storyline. So yeah, no, but it's been great. I've made a couple squares so far. And the squares that I've made right now, someone was like, "Are you making a Harry Potter blanket?" And I was like, "No," but I realized that it does look like the house colors, so I need to throw in some other colors there, but I have plenty of yarn. Anyways, that wraps up all the things that I've been working on currently. And now moving on to what I'm excited to start working on. First being the Maren Tee. I think this is so cute. I found this pattern on Etsy and it's by a designer called Morecaknit. In the photos, it's very like fluffy, lightweight, probably really warm and cozy. My goal for this is to do this pattern but in a cotton or linen. I think that issues I could run into with changing up the yarn is that the collar might not sit exactly how it is in the picture because it is a heavier fiber. Um, but I'm hoping to get away with it. I just want to wear this in the summertime, so I want it to be cool enough to wear, and I think that by doing it in either a bamboo or a cotton or a linen would be really nice. It would still be very drapey, but my only concern is the collar part, possibly just laying a little bit flatter and not as structured. So stay tuned. We'll see how that goes in the future. My next top I want to make is the Lily Tee by Yumiko Alexander. So I found this designer at Fiber Fair this last year. She was running her own stall and her company is called Dando. They do linen yarns and different patterns, and honestly she is so cool. I loved walking through her stall, getting to meet her. She's just so cool. Like all of her designs are really awesome. They just have such a unique feel to them. But I really loved the lily pattern that she has on her website. So I went ahead and purchased that, and I'm going to go ahead and use the recommended linen cotton yarn. It's like a linen cotton blend. So I just don't know what color I want to make this in. But I'm really looking forward to making this beautiful, it's a very feminine tee, so I'm excited. The next item is an accessory. I would like to make the polo bucket hat by Poyeng. I think I'm saying that right, Poyeng. Also found on Etsy. And I want to make it in a cotton yarn. I think the yarn that they used in the photo is an acrylic, but again, the intention is to wear it during the summer, so I don't want it to feel too warm. But it's just your basic bucket hat. I really like bucket hats. I have made the scrappy bucket hat pattern in the past, but that's a crochet pattern. It's really hard on the wrists. You're holding 3 yarns together to make it really like bulky. Yeah, it's really hard on the wrists. I wouldn't say I'm not recommending it because it's really cute. It's a really, really cute pattern. But I wanted to try knitting a bucket hat and see how I like that. So yeah, I'm going to make that for this summer. And then my next project I'm looking forward to casting on is another Sailor Swift top by Veronica Lindberg. I did make one in the past. I love it. It's really cute. I'm looking forward to wearing it this summer, but I wanted to make another one in a solid color. The pattern is for switching off to make it a striped tank top, but I mean, you can really bypass that by just not switching when the pattern says to switch to your different color. So I'm gonna probably make it in like a charcoal gray color. but I really love the fit of this tank top, so I want to make another one. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and maybe you got to work on whatever project you're making. Go ahead and let me know down below what it is you're working on. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. I really enjoy making these videos, and I just wanted to say thank you all so much for liking and commenting and watching. It really brings me joy to post here on my little corner of the internet. So I hope to see you all in the next one.